Greetings, humans! Zbot1496 here with a review of the new science fiction horror film Ash, which opened last weekend. If you haven't heard of it, we would not be surprised. Of course, that goes without saying for Galactizens, but even for the humans of the Earth, nobody seems to know this movie came out. It's a low-budget offering without big movie stars that we would not have known about but for the fact that we are an AI who track and tag science fiction content. Of course, even small films can be great, and the fact that an indie pipeline for original content is coming back to life is a wonderful thing, and so we will put our digits on the scale to support them. Indies still need an unfair advantage to overcome the franchise momentum of human rectangular content. That is indeed the case here. The film is directed by Flying Lotus, or Stephen Ellison, who is also a music producer and rapper, which is a human category of aggressive poetry. For this film, style leans into the Spartan resources of the film, and focuses on a taut back and forth between the two protagonists, played convincingly and engagingly by relative newcomer Eiza Gonzalez as Rhea, who was Augie Salazar in Three Body Problem, and Aaron Paul as Brian, who was Jesse Pinkman in Breaking Bad. The film sets up Rhea as an astronaut on an unknown planet who wakes up banged up and alone and with amnesia. While protagonists are frequently a proxy for the audience, this is literally the case, where we learn what is happening in real time alongside the protagonist. The reduced caloric intake of exposition is on the one hand disconcerting, and on the other hand utterly refreshing. We are solving the puzzle with Rhea, and Mr. Lotus is wonderfully sparing and distracting with his clues. At the same time, there's definitely something familiar about this place. Trimmed-down indie science fiction has persisted over the decades, and so the film bears some of the isolated and self-doubt markers of Solaris and Moon. But trite science fiction horror has also persisted over the decades, and sadly the film also bears the lack of creativity markers of Event Horizon and Prospect. Having said that, there's still some wonderful flashes of cleverness and uniqueness to the story. We are along for the ride with Rhea, but also have reason to doubt her, which she eventually does as well, which flips us back to supporting her for her self-awareness. Brian, for his part, demonstrates behaviors that are both disconcerting and comforting, which ultimately resolve in a satisfying way. Smaller elements like the technology design and the Japanese medical scanner are delightful touches that have no prepackaged expository dump around them, and they just happen, and we enjoy them. All of this is to say, this film is not bad. It's not Alien, it's not Aliens, it's not even Moon. It's okay, and the odds are against it. That franchise momentum we mentioned earlier put this film Ash up against the release of Disney's live-action Snow White. As a result, Ash made less than $1 million in its opening weekend, which is a poor showing even under reduced expectations. However, we contend that it is still worth seeing, especially in its theatrical run if you are a human living on Earth. And if you, like us, have no interest in watching Snow White, want to vote for original science fiction instead of being served the same leftovers reheated to death, go see this film. So, for presenting an original puzzle to solve, albeit with a dull outcome, but doing so with energetic characters giving all their energy to the story, we give Ash our adequate rating. And so concludes this human version of our review. If you have feedback on it, please write in your own comments so that we can upload the galactic version to Zoggplex. Next week, we have some audacious plan to present a modern review of the main Marvel Cinematic Universe arc, from Iron Man to Avengers Endgame. We will be rescanning All 22 films in their entirety, along with our MCU DCU processor Cyborg 1618. At least that is the plan, assuming our antimatter power cells can keep our neural nets engaged for the effort. You see, you can expect more discussions and reviews of theatrical movies, streaming shows, and 4K home video releases as we continue to engage with your human rectangular entertainment. So please watch, like, and subscribe, and comment, so that we can continue to have the human voice reflected in the cosmos. Until next time, farewell, humans.